Hey dreamer, and welcome back to another episode of the Phoenix Podcast with me, Jen Coffey. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on introductions or small talk this go round because we got to get right to it. We got to get right to reminding you who you really are. Either because it's the start of the day, you're getting ready, you're putting on your makeup, you're driving to work, you're getting geared up at the gym. Maybe it's the middle of the day and you came, no coincidences, because you needed a reset. You needed a proverbial kick in the tush. And I'm all about that because I know what it's like to slide off the tracks. I know what it's like to hit the ground running and lose sight of, frankly, just how badass we really are. So I invite you to listen to me, follow along with the thoughts I'm asking you to think, and save this, hang on to it, come back to it as many times as you like, as many times as you need, because the truth I'm sharing with you will never change. It will always be true. Sometimes we just need a reminder. All right, before we dive in, I want to get you in the right mindset. You can do this no matter if you're driving, no matter if you're running, no matter if you're laying down. It's something you always do. It's breathing. But we're going to focus on it for a second so that we pull in a little bit more of God's gift of oxygen than we usually do. This will get us in the right mindset. It won't take long. I don't need you to close your eyes. It's not technically meditation. It's just breathing. We're going to breathe in to the count of 4. Hold it to the count of 4. Exhale to the count of 4 and hold it again to the count of 4. It's called box breathing. But when we do it, it kind of informs the body that something good's on the way. And when you pull that breath in, bring it all the way down deep, not up here in your chest where you're usually breathing if you're like me, but way, way down. Feed your body with all that good oxygen. You need it. Here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. Again. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe like normal again. And just listen. Let's set an intention for today. By the way, you can do this at 8 a.m., noon, 2:15, 7 o'clock, or bedtime. That intention is just a word that you're going to remind yourself of throughout the day. It's your theme for the day. Remember the theme that we chose for summer if you listened to a previous podcast. We can do that each day. You can choose your intention to be your summer theme, or you can pull a word that you're going to need today. Patience, empowerment, strength, calm, rest, gratitude, compassion, self-compassion, grace. What's your intention for the day? You can even set the intention to live this day in honor of someone that you love, or God, your pets, yourself. An intention's always going to be a good word, a good thing, and we can paint our whole day with that. Yes, even the most mundane day, because every day is a gift and is far from mundane. Anyone who's 6 feet under would agree. In fact, while we're there, let's think about that idea of today being a gift. It is. Whether you are lucky enough to receive thousands and thousands of those little wrapped up packages from God, those gifts of days, or who knows, maybe we don't have the blessing of having thousands upon thousands of them. It's not up to us. And in the context of what we're talking about, it really doesn't matter. Because no matter how short or long your life is, ask yourself, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with this wild and precious life, my love? Are you going to start out this day dreading what's coming? Feeling morose or gloomy? It's okay if you do, because we all do sometimes. But if that's become your pattern, your habit, ask yourself instead, what are you going to do with this life? And yeah, I mean, what are you going to do with it when you're in front of that computer working from home? What are you going to do with it when you're commuting, if you're commuting right now? Are you going to switch your brain off? Or are you going to look around and find things for which to be grateful? Are you going to send out love virtually across the screen to the person to whom you're talking, wishing them well? Are you going to send love to yourself internally with every keystroke click on the keyboard? When I ask, what are you doing with this life? I'm not asking if you're going to jump out of an airplane today. Instead, I'm asking, are you going to remember who you are? What a miracle it is that you're watching me or listening to me and breathing right now. Those 4 breaths that you took before were 4-second gifts from above. And so, with this one wild and precious life, are you going to forget how miraculous and boss you are? Or are you just going to go through the motions? Because that's what you got in the habit of doing. And again, it's okay. We all do. So easy for me to sit behind this microphone and say all that, right? And I know because anytime I post something like this or I say something like this, I'll get people in response who say, that's easier said than done. And it is easier said than done. Doing things can be challenging. And reminding yourself how amazing you are can be challenging too. Especially when we're faced with so many stressors, right? Bills to pay, health issues. Every time I open up my phone or I see a news notification, it reminds me that there are bad people out there. Or even the quote-unquote bad people that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis in our workplace, yes, even in our own families. Or if you are intending and manifesting something big, that feeling of being pushed against obstacles, it gets so hard. Well, I'm here to remind you, all of those hard things are not your job, my friend. It's not your job to fix everything. And it's not your job to figure out why those obstacles are even here, believe it or not. Because the universe, source energy, God, and the blueprint that you laid out when you set a goal, they know why they're there. Solving those stressors is not your job. Your job is to do what you do best. And what do you do best? Pick a goal and get there. There's a favorite video still around online, I'm sure somewhere, but the running theme of it was Muhammad Ali saying over and over again, I'm going to show you how great I am. I love his attitude. The fact that this athlete went out there and didn't apologize for how amazing he was, didn't apologize for the fact that he busted his butt to bust other people's butts. He got out there and said, you can doubt me. That's okay. In fact, I invite it because it's going to make this victory that much more sweet when I show you how great I am. Well, honey, you're about to go out there and show them how great you are. And I don't mean in a boxing ring. I don't mean in an athletic competition or anything that puts you on a stage. You get to show the world how great you are by how much you love your children. You get to show the world how great you are by how you care for yourself, for how you type those reports and submit them, how you complete those calls that you have to make at work. It doesn't have to be something that's going to be in the ledgers of history for millennia. That doesn't really matter. You're showing them how great you are when you show up and you do what you're skilled at. You do what you're passionate about. And it isn't just about showing others how great you are. It's about reminding yourself. Because every time you remind yourself, your inner child listens, the child that you once were listens, your ancestors listen, and they're all so proud. You've always been that person, even on the days where you don't feel like yourself, and maybe that's today. But it doesn't really matter, because who you are at your core never changes. And your job is to keep on showing them how great you are, even if it means showing them by resting when you need to, because the greatest out there do that too. I've done a meditation before online, you may have heard it, asking you to recall a time in your life where you felt victorious, where you felt like the strongest you've ever been. Maybe it was winning a competition in sports in high school, getting a job that you weren't so sure you were going to get because it was the good one, winning the hand of your beloved, giving birth, just a day where you felt like a boss. I ask you to recall that moment right now. It doesn't mean that you feel that way right now, but recall who you were and how you felt at that time. So powerful, almost pure, like everything about you was lit on fire with good energy. Maybe your faith was even strengthened by it because you saw proof that good things can happen. When you felt that, it wasn't just a fleeting rush of adrenaline. It wasn't just a fleeting rush of all those good hormones. You were connected in that moment to the ultimate truth. That good things do happen, that you are deserving of it, that you can do the hard things. In fact, you can do them and make them look easy. So when you recall that moment and you feel that electricity in your bones, you're not just recalling a memory, you're reconnecting with the truth. And you can call upon that truth at any time. And when you do, you don't just connect with the truth, my love. You connect it with the gift that you've already requested from the universe. Remember that dream, that manifestation that you've locked into? Every time you remind yourself just how powerful you are, it inches closer. I know you've done amazing things in the past, and you will again. But you don't have to experience those amazing things to be the amazing person that you are. So as you're getting started today, putting on the mascara, getting into your clothes, rushing out the door, driving in traffic, you're going to fall off the track that hopefully I've helped put you on right now. You can come back to it anytime. And it isn't even necessary for you to hype yourself back up. All you have to do is remember, and again, I'm going to swear, so forgive me. All you have to do is remember, I'm always the badass. And with every move I make, I'm going to show you how great I am. Now get out there and do it. I know you can. And you can come back here anytime if you need another swift kick in the tush. I got you.